The Bible speaks highly of mothers who raise children and guide their families in a righteous manner. This morning, we recognize four special, highly favored moms from the Bible. Eve was the first woman and the first mother. Without a single role model or mentor, she paved the maternal way to become mother of all the living. Her name means living thing or life. Since Eve experienced fellowship with God before sin and the fall, she probably knew God more intimately than any other woman after her. She and her mate Adam lived in paradise, but they spoiled it by listening to Satan instead of God. Eve suffered terrible grief when her son Cain murdered his brother Abel. Yet despite these tragedies, Eve went on to fulfill her part in God's plan of populating the earth. Hannah is one of the most inspiring mothers in the Bible, although her story is less well known. In 1 Samuel chapter 1, we learn despite years of patience and prayer, she remained unable to have a child. One day, in her deep anguish, Hannah prayed to the Lord, weeping bitterly, and God answered her prayer at last. But Hannah's character truly shone when, in gratitude to God, she dedicated her newborn son to his service. Her son would one day become one of Israel's greatest prophets. Sarah is one of the great matriarchs of the Bible, yet she didn't become a mother until very late in life. In fact, her reaction to God's promise that she would have a son was to laugh, as memorably recorded in Genesis 18. She was the wife of Abraham, which made her the mother of the nation of Israel. Yet Sarah was barren. Nevertheless, she did give birth to a son, and her lineage would include Jesus Christ himself. She conceived through a miracle in spite of her old age. Sarah was a good wife, a loyal helper, and a builder with Abraham. Her faith serves as a shining example for every person who has to wait on God to act. Mary was the most honored mother in the Bible, the human mother of Jesus who saved the world from its sins. Although she was only a young, humble peasant, Mary accepted God's will for her life. Mary suffered enormous shame and pain, yet never doubted her son for a moment. Mary stands as highly favored by God, a shining example of obedience and submission to the Father's will. There are many famous mothers described in the Bible, like Elizabeth, Rebecca, Rachel, Naomi, Jochebed. Many of them righteous, some not so much, but all used by God to bring about his design. To God be the glory for our mothers. As we give thanks for the mothers in our lives, let us consider how we can embody the traits that define a godly mother: patience, kind-heartedness, faithfulness, and consider how we can encourage mothers, young and old, as they work to meet that same standard.